problem. Okay.
First of all, my apologies for dragging you in on a Saturday morning. I know that after working for 5 days, we all expect some, some free time during Saturday and Sunday so that we can spend with the family and friends. But then I was thinking to conduct this workshop on a weekday, but then I saw many teachers saying in the group that because of tight schedule, they are not able to attend. So I thought maybe Saturday morning would be good. And that's the reason why I decided to do it at 10 o'clock. The session is getting recorded now, so I will share this with the teachers who are unable to attend. Thanks, Vikram, for reconfirming that Saturday is good. I'm glad to know that. So teachers, my name is Rajesh, and I'm also one of the facilitators for the IB Dunia workshop. I'm working with Synarmas World Academy, which is in Tangerang, very close to Jakarta. And my subject is computer science, and it's my passion to learn and teach technology. And that's the reason I'm here. So I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to this session. In a way, it's a learning. It's going to be learning for me also, because even I want to be sure that what I'm using and why am I using. Uh, because troubleshooting is very important. That is what we teach in computer science, that unless you are very sure about a platform, keep trying until you reach to a status where there are no more problems left. Because if it's a day-long workshop, and if there are some technical glitches, we can take out some time to look into the problems. But with the IB Dunia workshop, the problem is that the sessions are just an hour long. And if we are caught into any kind of problems, then that's going to be simply, we have to, we can't further cut short the workshop because it's just 1 hour. So I thought of trying it in a full-fledged manner so that we know of any issues that we encounter, and see the coincidence that just 10 minutes before the start of the workshop, there was a technical glitch, but the IT team was prompt enough. They looked into the problem and they resolved it. Okay, so let me share my screen first so that we are on the same page. Although if you have joined the workshop using the link, then you should already have the content of my presentation. But just to be sure that we are on the same page, I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is the agenda for today's meeting. Can you confirm if my slides are visible to you?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so today we'll go through some of the features of the Classcipe platform, and we'll see how it is going to help us in terms of running the PD sessions that are scheduled for 12th of November. Now, some of you may be thinking that, why do we need a platform like this when we can easily do the presentation using a Zoom and a presentation, the PowerPoint presentation, which can be on Google Slides or on some other interface. Now, the reason why we are using this platform is to better organize the entire conduct of the workshop. That is the core objective. Now, being the IB teachers, most of you are IB teachers, and you must have attended some of the online workshops. So you must be familiar with the platforms like this, where the IB schedules all the workshops, then they make the participants register to the platform, and then the workshop is conducted. So that is the whole objective of having this platform, so that it's convenient not only for the facilitators to conduct the workshop, but at the same time, it's convenient for the participants also to register themselves, right? Like last year, we did not have a platform like this, so we had to totally depend on Zoom and presentation, and we saw some sort of inconveniences because some participants did not get the link. Some participants got the link, but they were not able to join into the Zoom workshop. Now, having a platform like this, which is a centralized app, using which we can easily not only conduct our workshops, but make it very convenient for the participants to register and join. Like right now, you saw that within no time, all of you were able to join the workshop. So that is the whole objective. So I will take you through this interface as to, now I would like to say that I will divide the session into two parts. One is the essential part, which is going to be required by all the facilitators. So if there are 70 facilitators, all will be required to do this session part one. Part two would be only for those facilitators who want to bring a little bit of interactivity into the presentation by using the Classcipe platform features. Okay, so but the first part is going to be essential for all, because that is the basic minimum requirement for you to schedule your workshop make the slides, connect your slide, and connect your Zoom session. Okay. So to begin with, when you log in into your Classcipe, am I announcing it correct? Is it Classcipe Transiten?
Yes, yes, it is Classcipe, like
Okay.
the recipe for classroom.
All right. Oh, didn't know that. So Classcipe, when you log into the Classcipe, this is the page that you get. Now on this page, when your account was registered, you have two profiles on this interface. Please be very clear about this thing, that you need to be in the IB Dunia Network Institution profile in order to schedule or create your workshops. And how would you see that? What's the others profile? If you go to this right side profile picture, you can see here that there are two profiles. One is personal and one is IB Dunia Net Institution. Any workshop that you try to create under personal, what I have understood from the explanations from Classcipe is that it's the global version. That means this is not going to be visible to the IB Dunia, but it will be open to the rest of the world. And we don't want that to happen. So ultimately, and I can show you the difference when I'm in personal, and if I go to the list of workshops, live workshops, which are so far featured, you see these workshops are featured under my personal account. Okay. But if I go to my IB Dunia profile, it will only show the workshops which are only featured for the IB Dunia participants. And that is what we want. We don't want to mix the two things. Now, these are all the workshops which so far different facilitators have posted on the on the Classcipe platform. Okay. Now, when the participants are going to come and visit this page, I think the login IDs are being created for the teachers. Should start from Monday. So once they get the login credentials, they will log into the Classcipe platform, and they will go to live workshops session, live workshops tab, and they will look for the featured workshops over here. So all the workshops which have been planned for them would be visible here. Now for them to register, they simply have to click on the register button. So once they have registered, then this will be added to their schedule. Like right now, if I show you my schedule, there is nothing because I haven't registered myself for any workshop. But if the participant would click any workshop, for example, I will register to Trevor Jones's workshop. I click on register and OK. So see that register option has disappeared and it is canceled. So now if I go to my scheduled workshop, it is showing me under my schedule that this is a workshop which I have registered myself for. However, if they feel that they have by mistake registered for a workshop and they may not attend for any reason, they may just cancel it. So once they cancel, it will be deregistered and it will be back to the registration option here. So this is one part for the participants. So we have to tell the participants very clearly. In fact, I'm sure that the DP coordinators will instruct them as to register for all those workshops and be very careful about the time, because they may end up registering for two workshops which are going to happen at the same time. So is there any, my question is to Transden, is there any check in the software where if I try to register for two workshops which are happening simultaneously, will the system prompt that you cannot attend?
I don't think so.
All right, so this is where the participants have to be a little careful about the timings, because if there's a clash, then they may not be able to attend both the workshops. They may only attend one of them. All right, and now you can see that for the workshops which are scheduled by me, I don't see the register because I'm the facilitator, which is quite obvious that why do I need to register for my workshop? Because I'm the one who is going to conduct it. So all those registrations are available, which the participants will see and they can register. Okay. Now, the question is, why there is nothing in the schedule when our workshop is currently going on? So as soon as you start the workshop, for example, this workshop started at 10 o'clock, this will be pushed into ongoing tab. Okay, so if you see on your tab, it should be showing in the ongoing that this workshop is currently running. So that's about the participants window, from where the participants can see the listed workshops and they can register themselves. Before I move on, any questions from this part? I will just take a pause after every option so that you get a chance to ask any questions that you may have about this. Any questions? Just feel free to talk, because it's a kind of interactive session where even I want to learn from you. So if any question comes to your mind, please feel free to ask. Any questions?
Yeah, may I ask a question?
Please.
Rakesh?
Yeah,
This
Vikram,
is
please. Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
actually, to be frank, I had been really busy with, we were in our school, we were holding the UN Day and open house. So I've not been able to do much in this except for creating my login. But as you said that there are two accounts, one is personal and one is IB Dunia.
Yes.
So, but right now, as I see my Classcipe, I cannot see any IB Dunia. How do I create my IB Dunia profile? It's only showing personal over there.
Maybe the best way would be to get in touch with Tristan. She is very prompt in creating your login ID. So just drop her a message and she will be happy to add your IB Dunia network profile to your registered account.
Oh, all right. Maybe I would also check my mails in case she would have already sent.
Because once you log in,
Yes.
irrespective of whether you, so I think they have to activate, right? They have to accept it.
Yes, they have to activate. Actually, they must have received an invitation email from the IB Dunya network. So it will be from Classcipe. So in that invitation mail, you will find a link. So please click on the link. When you click on the link, you will come on the Classcipe platform, what Rajesh is showing. And when you are in Classcipe, there is a notification envelope next to your profile picture. Click on the notification. And in that notification, you will have received a message saying that you have received an invitation to join Classcipe. Just click on it and then click on join. So as soon as you click on join, you will come back to the web platform and you will be in IB Dunya network. And you have to just click on back to home and you come back to your landing page. Okay,
so
the
so this
landing page.
Thanks, Tristan. So
Yes,
this is the email which you may have received. So once you,
I did what you said. I think it works.
Yeah, so once you click on this, so it will, that means, see, the invitation has come to you. Until you accept the invitation, it will not be automatically added. So when you're accepting this invitation, then you're giving your consent that, yes, I want to be part of this IB Dunia cohort, right? So then it will be added.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for that question. So I think this is a common problem with many teachers, and it would be good if they can follow this procedure. Just go to your email, look for that link. You can search for exactly this term, invitation to join IB Dunia network, and it will take you to that email, and then click on this link. It may ask you to authenticate, like you may have to connect your Google account with this. So just follow that wizard. And once you have done that, then this will reflect over here on your here. Okay, so anything that we are doing needs to be done under IB Dunia. Otherwise, it won't be visible to your participants and they won't be able to register for your workshop. It may show you on your screen, so you may be wondering that I have everything ready, but why my participants are not registering? The only reason would be that it's done under personal. So this personal thing won't be visible this personal thing won't be visible under IB Dunia cohort. So you want to make sure that you are in the right place. So that's one and most important part. All right, now comes the second part where I said that there is one essential part which every facilitator needs to follow, and that is about creating the workshop, right? Because if we talk about a workshop, there are two essential things. One is our presentation and one is the mode by which we are going to present it. Now, the first part is making a Google slide. I mean, making a slideshow which you want to share with your participants at the time of the workshop. For doing that, you can see here on the left side, there's a tab called My Content. Now this My Content is the library which belongs to you exclusively, and you can have any number of presentations listed over here. You can create any number of presentations which will be available to you to conduct your workshop. So before we conduct the workshop, we make the presentations. That's a normal routine process, that unless we have the presentation, we cannot run the workshop. So first thing is we need to create a slideshow or a presentation. For doing that, once you're in the My Content part, you can see this drop down which says Create New. Now, we are not going to talk about unit plan and task. Maybe this has some other purpose. What we are concerned about is this PD content. And when we go to the new PD content, it will load this page, which has 3 tabs. And I think I haven't tried this link task, and I don't think even this is required for the workshop, which is going to be held on 12th. So I will just skip this. The mandatory part is the PD goals and the edit slides. Now in the PD goals, this is the page which will be visible to the participants when they try to register themselves, right? So you need to have something very informative here so that they will get attracted and they will feel a worth of joining your workshop. Now here you need to have a cover page, which will be visible to the participants when they try to register. So select image. You may just create some image which you think would be relevant to your workshop. Like, for example, I will take just any random picture. So let's say I take this workshop. Open this, it will ask you to crop. So you can just crop the area which you want to show as a part of your cover page. So that's the maximum which can fit in. And then I click on save. So once I've saved it, you will see that this cover page would reflect over here. So this becomes our cover page for the workshop. Okay. Now some teachers ask me that how did I create my cover page, which looked a little, different than the normal one. So I will share one link with you. It's very easy. There are a lot of technological tools and I love exploring them. So this is one web page on one website which I use, postermywall.com, which has a lot of templates available, and it's just like drag and drop. You can insert your picture without any efforts. So for example, this picture you want to save, so just click on this, okay? And then somewhere you will see changing this image. I used it a few days back. So there is some option somewhere where you can change this picture. So once you click on this, you change the image, so automatically it will become circular. As you may have seen in my poster, you can change all this text easily. So make it look like it's yours, right? So you end up getting a very nice looking cover page for your web page. There are a lot of different layouts available. So you can choose one of the layouts that best suits to you. And then finally, you can just download it. It's free. So you can download the normal version, which is free. If you want to look for HD or something, that is paid, but why do you need that? The normal one is good enough. So you can use this. I will share this link with you later. Okay, now coming to the goals part, this is also mandatory. Unless you put the goals for your workshop, it's not going to take you to the PD continuation. So here I will just put my some random goals, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can list down all the goals that you think are applicable to your workshop. So that removes the red line from here. That means we have fulfilled the requirement for this tab. Next comes the most important part, which is the edit slides. Now in this, you can see that some of the slides which I made earlier is already available. So I can either choose one of them and start editing further to that. But since you would be doing it for the first time for Classcipe, so the best is that you go to create Google Slides. In fact, the IT team has already created a couple of slides for you for the IB Dunia workshop. So either you can start editing that same slideshow, or if you want to start something absolutely fresh, you can create Google Slide. And when you click on create Google Slide, if you're not already logged into your Google account, it will ask you to authenticate. So that means you can just log in. Since I'm already logged in, so it has not asked for my authentication. So it knows that which Google account I'm using currently. Otherwise, it asks you for user ID and password, just provide them and proceed. Now, this is the first slide. Okay. Now, there are two ways of making your slides. One is that you completely make it here, right from scratch. But I don't think that would be very good way to do that, because generally we would already have the presentations ready. Now, if you have a presentation ready, for example, let's say I have this slide, okay, this presentation, and I want to use this with my Classcipe. Now, this presentation cannot be directly linked to Classcipe. So ultimately, I will have to copy this entire thing, all the slides. So I select all, Command A, Command C, copy, and then I go to to this one, and I just paste it, Command V. So it should come. Maybe I took too many slides, so it may take a little time. Let me take a couple of them. One second, I'll try again. So I'm not sure if it took the changes. No, not yet. So I go to edit slides again.
Rajiv?
Yeah.
I find you can only paste one slide at a time.
No, you can do multiple. So sometimes it doesn't refresh because the system is still getting developed. It's a new system. So obviously there would be some glitches. So best is to just go back, refresh and come back, so it will work. right?
Okay.
So keep the original style. Now, one problem, so once you say keep original style, it will copy the same template, the same theme from there to here. Now, suppose that okay, so this is done, first step. Now you want to change definitely want to change the name, because this is the name that will reflect under your workshop listing. So let's say I say Rajesh presentation on algorithms. Okay, so that becomes the name of my slide, and same would become the name of the event. Now see, there's a difference between this presentation. This was my original slide, which has nothing to do with Classcipe. I wanted this slide to be linked to Classcipe, so I will simply copy this whole thing, okay, as I copied, and I come here. Now this slide is linked to Classcipe because this I have come here through the Classcipe platform, and when I paste it here, this becomes part of my Classcipe slides. When the slides will be visible to the participants for them to register, they will be able to see the first 2 slides only. So the preview will be available for first 2. So since this is blank, I'll delete this. So now the participants will be able to see this and this. I will show you how. Now I need to go back to the Classcipe. So I will click on the back arrow of the browser, which takes me to this place. Now Classcipe says that you have changed something in the Google Slides, but it is not saved for Classcipe. So for that, we need to save changes here. And all those changes would be applied to Classcipe as soon as I click on save. So you see here, those changes are getting reflected over here. So that means now my Classcipe platform is fit to run this workshop because my PD content is ready. Okay, it doesn't mean that you cannot make further changes, because we tend to keep changing our slides. So as and when you have any changes, now you don't have to go to your original slide. You just go to edit slides from the Classcipe. Let's say I want to add few more slides. I had 4 of them. Now I want to copy few more and paste them here. So that's quite doable. Okay, I go back again. It will ask me that, do you want to save it? I'll say yes. So see, save changes. So right now it's showing 4, but as soon as I click on save changes, it will show everything. Okay, so this is done. My content is ready now. I go back to the Classcipe platform. So my content is ready, which I want to present to the participants. So first step is done. Now the second step is that my participants should be able to see my workshop listed. But if I go to the live workshops right now, it wouldn't show anything, because can somebody tell why it's not getting listed here? It should have been listed because I created my slide. Any ideas why it's not getting listed here?
Because we have to schedule the Zoom.
We have to schedule it. Yes, absolutely. So right now it's in the content of my library. This is just private to me. It's not yet made public. So unless I make it public and I schedule the workshop, it's not going to be visible to the participants. And for scheduling your workshop, you come to my content, you know which slide you are going to use, go to the workshop tab. Okay, but before we go to the workshop tab, I'll show you a couple of more options. Now this is archive. If you think that you're trying some slides, learning about it, you don't want your workshop to be filled with too many slides which are irrelevant. So in that case, you can just archive it. When you archive, it will go to the archive folder. See, it's disappeared. And when I go to the archive, it is showing me here. From here also, I can take it back to my content by clicking here and restore. So when I restore, it will go away from archived and should be visible.
Rajesh, I would have a question at this moment.
Yeah.
May I do it?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Rajesh, what I was going to ask is that, let's say we are already in our process of making our slides.
Yeah.
And we have also opened our workshop for registration.
Yeah.
If any of the teacher registers,
yeah,
will they already be able to see our slides even in complete stage, or how does it happen? Like after registration, do they just start seeing our work already?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. I will answer that. I'll try to answer that because I'm also using for the first time.
No
So see what happens. My content is your private content, right? Now this has been linked to your current ongoing workshop. For example, this content currently is my ongoing workshop, isn't it? If I make any changes in this right now, right? This is my ongoing workshop, correct? So if I make any changes in the current workshop, for example, it should be shown in the launch workshop. So if I make any changes in my ongoing, see it's in the ongoing tab because right now this workshop is running. So if I make any changes in the workshop, let me see where exactly it is. Okay, if I go to edit, fine. I go to edit slides, and if I edit the Google Slides, and let me insert a new slide here. For example, insert a new slide. All right, so this has new slide. And so I go back and I save it. So far, this changes only my private content. This will not be visible to the participants. So I save it here. Even now, even after saving, this is saving to my content. It's not going live. It will go live. It will go live as soon as I go to the launched workshop ongoing and I click here and I say update slides.
Oh, okay.
Do you get that point? So once I click on update, now this will be global. This will be visible to all the participants. So if you feel like adding something during the running of workshop, you make the changes to your My Content, which is private to you, but you want that to be visible to other participants, go to launch workshop, go to the ongoing, or click on these three dots and update the slides. Okay. Also, before the workshop, we want to see that who are the participants who have registered for workshop. But since we are on this tab, we can just go to the registrants and you can see the list of people who have registered for our workshop, right? So this is the place where we can see that. I hope I have answered your question.
Perfectly.
Raji,
yeah.
I have one question. Since only 2 slides, the first 2 slides will be visible to the participants.
Yeah.
Why do we need to put all our slides on Classcipe?
Okay, that's a very good question. The first 2 slides are visible to them when they are trying to register for the workshop. So if I go to Trevor, would you mind if I open your slide?
No problem.
Okay, so when I click on Trevor's web page, okay, now I don't know for what reason it's showing multiple slides, but ideally it should have shown only 2. That's what was told to me, that it will only show 2 slides listed, right? So if I go to, let's say, okay, yeah, so maybe it, so ideally it will show 2 slides, but anyway, I think it will be reverted back to the same procedure where they will be able to see 2 slides only. The idea is that when they are registering, they should not access all our slides, because ultimately they will see the entire slide and they will see, oh, I know the content, why should I attend the workshop?
Yeah, that's what my concern is.
So this is the whole objective of showing them just 2 slides. So make it as lucrative as possible so that they see and they believe that, oh, this workshop is going to be helpful to me, right? Now, coming to your question that if the Classcipe is going to show only 2 slides, then why we should add all? Because that's preview. That is for them to only see the content of the workshop and the PD goals. But when you're running the slides, when you're running the presentation, for example, right now I'm running the presentation, so I will have the flexibility to go through all my slides. And that is the reason your main content, which you're going to show during the workshop, will have all the presentations, all the slides. But when they are coming to register for the workshop, that time they should be able to see only the workshops which are available for them to register. Does that answer my question?
Yes. Follow up. At the start of this session, we were in Zoom, and then you presented your screen in Zoom, right?
Yes. So let me come to, exactly.
So that in the workshop, when we presented our screen, can we just go to our Google slide? Do we have to go to Classcipe?
No, you don't have to go to the Google Slides anymore, because your content is already completely embedded into the Classcipe platform. So once you start the workshop, then automatically all the slides which were created on the Classcipe would be available to you. So you can just close your other slides. It doesn't matter. It's only if while running the presentation that you want to make some changes, then you would like to go back to the content and you may like to change. But I see that a very rare possibility of that, because once you have started the workshop, why would you like to change your presentation, right?
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. With my concern is that I have two sets of slides.
Yes.
On the Classcipe, I have the workshop, the participant view, and then I have a presenter's view, which I cannot save in Classcipe because of licensing regulations. So that is why I was asking, since I go into Google the Zoom, I can go directly to my Google Slides and present that to the participants.
Okay, so I'll come to that projector view and the teacher's view a little shortly. But my only worry is that now the timer is showing 7 minutes left. So maybe once this session is over, I haven't created the second session. So I will quickly create another Zoom meeting, and I will share the link on the WhatsApp so that you can join back. So now, so we have finished my content. Any questions from my content? Any questions from my content? So I created this content.
One question.
Yeah, please.
Can I? Sorry. I created the slides already, but from under shared by others, is that okay? Because when I log in, I saw that someone already created like my presentation, like a template. So I continue from that, and I did not create new one.
You can do.
It's okay.
You can do. So
right.
so this is entirely your library, whether it's made by you or somebody else shared it with you and you want to use that as your presentation material, it's perfectly fine. Now see, how do we, so the second part, so we are done with our presentation. So our base is ready, that this is what we want to present to the participants. But now I want to schedule it. I want to list it under live workshop so that my participants should be able to see and view it. And for that, what we can do is, now see, this is a master presentation. You can use one presentation for n number of workshops. So it's not that one presentation, one workshop. Same presentation can be used for multiple workshops. Okay, now we are going to create the first workshop out of this presentation. So this is the one. So for that, you go to the workshop. First, you go to my content, then you go to the workshop. In the workshop, it will give you the flexibility to schedule your workshop on a given date and time. Right now, for that, it is important that you must have a Zoom linking already done. So before we come to this point, let me show you where you can link your Zoom from. So you can go to, you should be under your personal account for Zoom linking. Okay, this is the only time when we go to the personal account, and then you go to the account, and here you see the login and security. So when you go to the login and security, there's a tab called Zoom account. Since my Zoom is already connected with the Classcipe platform, so I don't have to redo it. But if I disconnect, possibly we'll lose the contact, so I will not disconnect it. But initially, when you do it for the first time, it will show you link the Zoom account. So when you click on this, it will ask you for the credentials for your Zoom, for the Zoom, and then it will ask you certain, authorization. So you just check all of them and click on OK, and it will link your Zoom account. The benefit is that now you don't have to run Zoom individually, but it will be controlled through the Classcipe. Any events that you make in your Zoom would be visible over here. So see, it's getting made automatically here, all the Zoom sessions that I'm creating. So I'm not doing it in Zoom, I'm doing it from Classcipe, and it's coming, getting reflected over here. All right. So this is how we create the Zoom account, and only after you have linked your Zoom account that you can schedule your meeting. So let me go back. So this is my personal account. I will go back to the IB Dunia, and it's my frequent reminder that every time that you are doing something, please see that you are in IB Dunia, because you may end up doing a lot of efforts which may go in vain if it's not being done under IB Dunia. Only at the time of account connection with the Zoom, you have to go to your personal account. So I'm in IB Dunia. Just be reassured and then continue working. Now my next target is to schedule this workshop on a specific day. So I go to the workshop, and then the second tab is scheduling it. Now everything is fine here. Zoom is activated. That means I want to link this presentation or this session with the Zoom. So let it be on. Passcode, I would prefer keeping it off, because anyways, it's a closed group of the IB Dunia teachers. So they will anyway be joining through the Classcipe account. So if you give passcode unnecessarily, they may be asked about passcode, which I would not prefer. So just set it off. Waiting room also, I will keep it off. Why do you want to keep them waiting when they can enter as soon as they have joined your meeting? After doing this, now this is the calendar. For example, you are doing it for the 12th of November. So keep it on the week view and just keep scrolling to 12th of November. So here it is. Now suppose your workshop is at a certain time. Let's say this one. So 13:15 to 13:30. If you want to make any minor changes into this, you can click here, which will bring up the calendar. And from here, you can actually put some other time. For example, let's say I wanted to start it at 12:10. So I select 12:10, that's my start time. And then the end time, if you want to make some changes, just change that and then click save. As soon as you click on save, this workshop will get listed into the live workshops. You would like to have some good name over here. So maybe I'll say Rajesh's workshop on algorithms. Okay, so this is how it will reflect on the featured workshop under live workshop. So I click on finish. So this is my second step. First step, create the content. Second step, schedule the workshop. Now this is registration deadline. If you want to give a registration deadline to the participants that they should not be able to join after a certain time, you can explore this, but I wouldn't do that. Let them join until the workshop. So if you don't select anything, the validity of joining would be until you end your workshop. So if you leave it empty, that means they can join even during the workshop has started. The only time they cannot join is once the workshop is ended by you. So just skip this to keep it simple. Okay, so I think 1 minute is left. So I will share another meeting link soon after this session. So feel free to join directly into Zoom because I don't want to create.
Rajesh, you can share the same link and we can join the same Zoom meeting. When it closes, you can open the same link.
Oh, fine.
So when you see at the side, there's a green icon over there. When you click over there,
Reopen.
You will get the Zoom link there, and then we can join the same link. You can open the same meeting and we can join back.
All right, sure. Okay, fine. So shall we do that because it's already less than a minute? So shall I end this meeting, ongoing meeting? Shall I end or just leave it like this?
Yeah, we can join another meeting because now there's a less than 1 minute left.
Yeah, okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, maybe just remember to save the recording.
Yeah, sure. The first part is getting recorded, so second part also I'll put it on.
Yes.
All right.